This is the Rolex Daytona in stainless steel with ceramic bezel, model number 116500, with, of course, black dial. Brother to, of course, the famous Panda dial with the white dial. Also a very famous watch, maybe a tad more famous than this, but this was always the one I preferred between the two. There are a few reasons I went for this. First of all, very hard watch to find, clearly. Maybe the hardest Rolex watch to come across, or certainly amongst the hardest. So I saw an opportunity there to do that. I love that seller. I've seen how scrupulous he is when he takes in watches and so on to make sure they're the real deal. As many people say, buy the seller, don't buy the watch. He is definitely a perfect example of that. Two is that my other Daytona, as much as I love it, and I made a very large video on it. One of my nicest first videos was here in Venice before I even lived here. And that was my other Daytona, steel and gold with the gold dial. Not champagne, gold, pre-2010, so 750 gold dial. Still adore that watch, still great. But admittedly, that watch didn't look good under certain light. It looked like the most beautiful thing you've ever seen under soft evening light and morning light. But in midday light and anywhere inside, unless it was dark with candle lights around or something like that, if you're walking through a train station or an airport or in a bright room at all, that watch didn't look good. It was just the way the gold caught the light. And that was a little irritating, I have to say. But I still loved it anyway. It was still my favorite watch, or certainly one of my favorite watches. With this, it just looks stunning in all light, under fluorescent light, sunlight, evening light, candlelit rooms, it doesn't matter. The white gold on the dial will pick up light and separate it into the light spectrum. So you'll get reds and blues and all sorts of things, violets and so on, happening across the dial. It's quite amazing. One other thing that really got me, and this is a small detail, guys, but tell me I'm not mad. This was something that just gave me a little tingle. The card is from 2017. The watch is from 2017. That's obviously pre-owned. And there's just one thing that I kind of, for some reason, it shouldn't make any difference, but for some reason, I really liked it. The card is from Switzerland. This watch was purchased at Bucher in Switzerland. And for some reason, that just makes me feel, I don't know, it doesn't make any sense. This is ridiculous what I'm saying right now, because it doesn't matter. You know, all Rolex watches come from Switzerland and they're just sent to whatever country. And, you know, every different country has its own card and its own card number and so on. But for some reason, having a steel Daytona with ceramic bezel with a Swiss card just feels like the genuine article, doesn't it? I don't know why. It just says Switzerland on the card, and for God's sake, if there's any cool word that's going to be on the back of this card, it's got to be that, right? Even though it makes zero difference. You buy it in Hong Kong, you buy it in the United States, you're always getting, you know, the real deal. Of course, I'm not trying to imply. Just for some reason, that gives me a little bit of a, I don't know, thrill. I've also never seen a Swiss card before, so that's a first for me. But what about the watch's condition? I know you guys are asking. By the way, I left it in chrono just for drama for the video. I don't normally leave a chronograph in chrono state. It's just to see something moving on the dial, because the seconds hand down there at 6 is very difficult to see. The condition is what I would consider very good. I mean, there are no dings. Obviously, this ceramic bezel has no signs of wear at all. That's the whole point. Ceramic will not scratch. Everything else, of course, is immaculate. The dial, of course, I inspected very closely, and the crystal and so on, no dings or anything. Now, he did say to me, look, I can give it a light polishing because around here, there are a few signs of the fact that it's been worn, especially on the clasp. It's got those classic scuffs on the clasp. Nothing heavy, just very light scuffs, but this is what happens when you wear a watch. It's pretty much unavoidable. And he asked me, he said, look, do you want me to polish it? Because I can give it a very, very light run over with the machine and take out these things and so on and make it look, bring it back to looking pretty much new, and it wouldn't take me very long because I'll just do a very light job on it just to take those away. But he said, I'm not going to do it right now, and this is why. If I give it to you polished looking new, you won't wear it. He said, if I give it to you like this, already with a few of those, you know, classic obligatory scuffs on the center there, the high gloss center, you'll wear it and you'll enjoy the watch. So go out there and enjoy the watch, wear the watch. Don't worry about putting more scuffs on there. The scuffs are there already. A couple more won't make any difference. And then if you want to turn around and sell it, or you want me to bring it back to beautiful condition again, I can always do it for you at a later point. So he was absolutely right. You know, I put it straight on and didn't have to worry. Sometimes when you have a watch like this one, for example, is so new condition, it's new old stock and so on, I'm quite aware like of leaning my hand on a table or anything like that. I can be quite self-conscious, you know, where I'm putting, because I just don't want to put that first scuff or scrape on there. I know it's ridiculous and I need to get past it, but you guys know how it is. Whereas when you leave the store with the watch already with a little bit of wear and tear on there, then you're relaxed. It's like, it's already done. I'm past it now. Let me just enjoy the watch. From a distance, you can't see anything. It's only, you know, when you get in and you start staring at the details, then that you see it. So yeah, wonderful stuff. Beautiful condition. Of course, it has the easy link. So we sized it up just right for me. And it's great. Let me put it on. As it happens, it's looking like maybe there might be some changes, or at least these are the rumors going around right now. There might be some changes to the Daytona line of watches, which a lot of people will say, nah, they would never do that, but they just did it to the Submariner. So I don't know if it's such an outlandish thing to think, oh, it's so silky putting that on, my God. To think that they might change the Daytona and make it 41 mils and maybe change the coloring up. If they do, guys, this watch will go through the roof in value, which isn't everything. It's not all of horology. It's only one corner of the hobby. And it can be quite tiresome to listen to someone who only speaks about that corner of it. There's so much more to horology and watch collecting, but it can't be ignored, that side of it. Also, I'm not going to pretend that that side doesn't exist either. And this watch now is currently trading at around 29,000, 30,000. If it is discontinued or significantly changed, this thing is going to fly up to 50,000. You might think I'm crazy, but I was the one, if you look back in my videos, I was the first one to predict that the Hulk was going to be discontinued. And when it was discontinued, it would go up to 20,000. And everybody thought I was crazy then. You're all eating your words now, guys. I don't think they would ever mess with the Panda. It's far too popular, a brother. It's the one everybody talks about, everybody wants. And this one gets slightly ignored next to it. And I love it even more for that reason. It's the dark side. Yeah, you know, the Panda is Luke Skywalker. This thing is Han Solo or Darth Vader. You know, it's just got that cool element to it and suits me way more than a white dial watch would. Hang tag, of course. This has all the links on there. No extra links in here. It's got the full 12 or 13 if you include the mini one. So there it is, guys. Quite amazing. Great opportunity, the right moment, the right place, the right time, the right seller, very important. And definitely the right watch for me. Between this and the Panda, I think you can all agree this is definitely more me. And I always admired the black one a little bit more than the white and black. Just you keep seeing that one everywhere. This has definitely got more stealth to it. It's got more of that Darth Vader, TIE Fighter thing going on. It's been a wild ride the past couple of months with watches, particularly with Rolex. I had no idea I was going to wind up with two of these bad boys in the space of a week. And I had no idea when I stepped in there last week. I just stepped in to say hello and have a chat with the fellas and see what they had, and you know, just do a little bit of window browsing, window shopping, and I had no idea I was going to walk out of there with this piece on my wrist. But you've got to jump on these deals when they come along. There's no way of predicting, and sometimes that's the way it is. It just, the opportunity arises and you have to just dive for it. It makes me think about you know, people who go through a bad breakup or, you know, a divorce or something, and they wonder, oh, will I ever meet Mr. Right or Mrs. Right again in my life? Let me take 6 months or a year off and just be single and reset. But the truth is they could meet Mr. or Mrs. Right the following day or a week or a month later. It could happen at an inopportune time. And what are they going to do? Put their principles in the way and turn him down or turn her down? And a year later, then they're dating all sorts of idiots looking for the right person. Whereas they should have jumped on that. What is it? If you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. That really is the truth. Quite often these deals come along, these opportunities, and you have to just pounce on them, whether it was your plan in the first place or not. At least that's the philosophy I live by, and I don't regret a minute of it. Thanks for watching the Timeless Watch channel. I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.